And a pleasant good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to the Arizona Youth Game of the Week. And it's the 12U Ridge Junior Mountain Lions taking on the Gilbert Lightning. Eric Anderson will have the call of the game. My name is Jeff Lowry. Two teams here that a lot of people say are pretty evenly matched. So we'll send it over to Eric in just a couple of minutes as he goes down and gets some last-minute information from both these teams. The Lightning come out in those light blue, almost those retro San Diego Charger uniforms, the all-white Junior Mountain Lions. And the Lightning will receive the ball as we get set to start Game 3 of 3 here on APN Sports. Eric will be with you in just a moment. All right, we're awaiting the opening kickoff, and this game is underway. And it's a loose ball, and it's going to be picked up near the 20. What a big day to start this ball game. On a missed kickoff return, and number 3, Michael Fuamara comes up with it and races it down inside the red zone of the Lightning.
I'm all right, man.
So it's first down and 10. And you talk about plus situation here in field position, and that's what Ridge has. Actually, they start the possession right around the 23.
And Jeff, thank you, Eric Anderson, along with Jeff Lowry here, as that opening kickoff was recovered by Mountain Ridge. It was Caleb Bucksar who recovered it for Mountain Ridge on the fumble from Gilbert. But an early opportunity for Reggie Dolk and company, and a handoff going right this time is Bucksar, and he's going to be into the end zone for a touchdown, 19 yards. So 19 yards around the right side for Caleb Bucksar. It is 6-0 in favor of Mountain Ridge here on just the second play from scrimmage. Alex Acero will try the extra point. It'll be for a 2-point conversion. A high snap, and it is picked up, racing to his left and into the end zone that time for the 1-point conversion. Again, it was a high snap, but Ryan Bubb picked it up and took it in for the 1-point conversion for Mountain Ridge. So 7-0 in favor of Mountain Ridge after a 19-yard touchdown run by Bucksar. It was all set up on the kickoff that was fumbled by the Gilbert Lightning. And Bucksar and company for the Mountain Ridge Mountain Lions, 12 and under, make it 7-0. Just 5 plays into this ball game.
They're both Gilbert.
So Alex Acero will kick off. The issue sometimes at this level of ball is the snaps on the extra points. Odin as well as Fiumara back deep to return this kick of Acero. The last one was fumbled. Acero's kick is fielded from the 29-yard line with blockers. This is raced back, and Sebastian Odin brings it over midfield with a tackle by Alex Acero. So the Gilbert Lightning with good field position. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Robert Dolk, the head coach for Mountain Ridge, was up here with us before the ball game and enjoyed his company and did a good job of him filling in who the starters were from his team, but enjoyed talking with him. In the powder blue are the Gilbert Lightning, and Mountain Ridge in the white. Lucas Rue is the quarterback on 1st down and 10 for the Lightning at the 49-yard line. Quick toss left side. It is complete to Fiumara, and he is hammered on the far side by Cosley. Kind of loud over on this side, huh? They've got a cowbell out there, and it's almost hurting my ears. It is 7-0 in favor of Mountain Ridge after a 19-yard touchdown run by Caleb Bucksar after the opening kickoff was fumbled by the Gilbert Lightning. Fiumara is the running back along with Odin, 23. Rue goes under center on 2nd down and 9. They hand off to Fiumara going left, and he's hit and dropped by Bucksar on the far side. The roster for the Gilbert Lightning is not real deep. The Mountain Ridge Mountain Lions almost not double the amount of players, but they've got a bigger roster. That was a gain of 5 around the left side for Fiumara. It is 3rd down and 4 for the Lightning at the 44-yard line of Mountain Ridge. It's a 12 and under matchup. Rue goes out of the shotgun. A high snap. He'll look to throw. Fires deep down the left side, and that is caught and dropped. Had his hand on it for just a moment on that far side was Kobe Landis. Landis had it for a moment. It was a nice looking ball thrown by Rue, but it goes incomplete. But a manageable 4th down and 5 for the Lightning at the 44-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Mountain Ridge leading 7-0. And Rue takes it himself and lunges forward. He needed 5 and he picked up about 6. So Rue took it himself and picked up the 1st down. So the drive stays alive on a big 4th down conversion by Lucas Rue. Move the chains. 1st down and 10 for the Lightning at the 38-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Rue goes under center. And a handoff and thrown down in the backfield. Caleb Buxar made a statement that time, and he threw down Sebastian Oden. Caleb Buxar made a statement there. A loss of 3 on the play. It is 7-0 Mountain Ridge on the 19-yard touchdown run by Caleb Buxar. Buxar wears number 3, middle linebacker and running back for Mountain Ridge. 2nd and 13 for the Lightning at the 41 of Mountain Ridge. Lucas Rue out of the shotgun. High snap. Toss over to the far side, complete to Curley. And he races down the far side, and he picks up about 18 down to the 25-yard line. So the Gilbert Lightning is a feisty team. From the visual, the size really, Mountain Ridge really a lot of size, but Gilbert is a tough squad. 1st down and 10 for the Lightning at the 25-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Oden 23 and Fiumara 3 in the backfield. They hand off to Fiumara going left. Darts his way to the far side and eventually taken down by Buxar. Buxar all over the field. The first 2 ball games were shutouts. 10 and under Team Impact beat the 10 and under Raiders AZ 37-0. The second ball game, Mountain Ridge 14 and under beats West Valley Bolts 34-0. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 for the Lightning at the 22-yard line of Mountain Ridge. High snap, handoff again. Buxar throws Fiumara down to the turf. Well, I should say it was Oden who was thrown down. Tell you, Caleb Buxar, number 3, the middle linebacker and running back for Mountain Ridge, is a guy to keep your eye on. Remember the name. A loss of 3 on the play, 3rd down and 10. Lightning at the 25-yard line of the Mt.Lions. Lucas Rue, the quarterback. Fiumara and Oden, the running backs. They hand off. This time is they hand off to Oden, and Garnett comes up, makes a big hit on defense for Mountain Ridge. They're just fierce on defense. A gain of 2, 4th down and 8. The Lightning just outside the 23 of Mountain Ridge. They need right around the 15-yard line for a 1st down. Oden is the running back. 2 receiver set. Man comes in motion towards the near side. A toss over the middle. Spinning inside is Zayden Moreno, and he's down to the 5-yard line. An 18-yard pass play from Rue to Zayden Moreno across the middle, and Gilbert knocking on the door, 1st down and goal. It is 7-0 in favor of Mountain Ridge here, later stages of the opening quarter, but it is on the line right here as it's 1st and goal for the Lightning at the 4-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Movement on the line, and I believe that's going to go against the defense. Half the distance to the goal is Lucas Rue has been very impressive as the quarterback so far for the Gilbert Lightning, as he, in a sense, I believe, drew the defense offside. Half the distance to goal, first down and goal. Lightning at the 2-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Rue goes under center. And was that enough? I didn't see a signal on that. I did not. The referees have been very good, but I did not see a signal on that one. In fact, they're going to mark it down. Well, I didn't see a signal for a touchdown. The ball rests at the 3-yard line. Rue gets the snap. They hand off to Mara around the left side, and he's into the end zone. He is into the end zone for, I guess, a 2-point conversion or 1-point conversion. So that was, in fact, I believe that Rue had scored, the quarterback had scored prior to that, but I didn't see a big signal on it. Nevertheless, then, that is a 1-point conversion. And with no scoreboard, I'm pretty sure it's tied at 7. We had issues a couple weeks ago. They were yelling Rue, who I imagine had scored the touchdown, the quarterback, prior to that. Then they got the 1-point conversion. The fact that they spotted, but I didn't see a signal for the touchdown that was definitive. I saw that one was definitive. Amaya will kick off. Bounces at the 30-yard line. It's picked up. And racing up here is Bucksar. Bucksar ridden out of bounds by Amaya. Bucksar is quite a ball player. A return of 29 yards by Caleb Bucksar. So we're assuming that the touchdown was scored on a quarterback keeper by Rue. That's not official. We do know that the 1-point conversion was good. So we are tied at 7. Closing moments of this opening quarter, first down and 10. Handoff inside. This is Alex Acero over the right side, and he picks up about 5 yards. Taken down by Moreno. Moreno had the nice catch over the middle. Closing moments of this opening quarter. We're tied at 7. Reggie Dalk is the quarterback, lining up to his right as Acero. Second down and 5. Man in motion, they hand off inside. And double team that time is Acero. Dylan Francis coming up from the bottom of that pile with an assist from a teammate. It was a gain of 4 for Acero. Third down and 1 for Mountain Ridge, the 32-yard line of Gilbert. Play fake. This is Dolk on the quarterback keeper going left. Slips one tackle, and he's taken down around the 18-yard line that time. Fiumaro in on that stop. That's the end of the opening quarter. We are tied at 7 between the Gilbert Lightning and the Mountain Ridge Mt.Lions. Gilbert, of course, out of Gilbert. You said they used to be called the Monsoon, I believe. They're on the powder blue, kind of like the Bolt used to be the. And Mountain Ridge, the 12 and under Mountain Ridge Mt.Lions. Junior Mt.Lions. They've had some famous alumni here. You mentioned Jeff Locke, who was a very good place kicker and punted in the NFL with Minnesota Vikings. Richie Incognito, a very tough NFL guard, played a long time. He was one of the top people out of here. So they've had some famous alumni here out of Mountain Ridge. It is breezy outside, but we shouldn't be complaining, or I shouldn't complain about that. So we're tied at 7, the first play here of the second quarter. First down and 10, Mountain Ridge. Handoff inside, Acero plunges way down to the 15-yard line and taken down by Leo Lopez. So Mountain Ridge on the march. Reggie Dolk, the quarterback, head coach Robert Dolk. Mentioned we enjoyed his company up here before during the first game and a half. After the gain of 3, it's second down and 7, Mountain Ridge, the 15-yard line of the Lightning. That play didn't get underway. False start against Mountain Ridge, everybody but the center. These referees doing a great, we're able to hear what they're saying and everything today. It'll cost Mountain Ridge 5 yards. Second and 12 for Mountain Ridge at the 20-yard line of the Lightning. We're tied at 7 early in the second quarter. Handoff inside, Acero busts his way down inside the 15-yard line to the 14. Colin Curley in there on that one. Mentioned Gilbert, if you even look on their sideline, not a whole lot of players, so not a deep roster, but Mountain Lions with a lot of players. We're tied at 7 here, early stage of the second quarter. Third down and 5, Mountain Ridge, the 12-yard line of the Lightning. Handoff again inside, and running back plunges down to the 10-yard line that time, and that was Caleb Buxar who scored the first touchdown, a 19-yard touchdown run for Mountain Ridge, and also has been very tough as a linebacker on defense. Big tackles. So Kyle Curley on that tackle. It's fourth down and 2. Mountain Ridge at the 10-yard line of the Lightning. Dolk onto the shotgun. Movement on that defensive line, but I think they didn't encroach. Dolk onto the shotgun. Has pressure, nearly lost his footing, races to his left. He's in trouble being chased, and down he goes. Dylan Francis with a huge sack. And that was a loss on the play of unofficially 24 yards. A 24-yard loss. Dylan Francis sacked Reggie Dolk. Well, they're going to mark it at the 30, so loss of about 20 on 4th down and about 2. So the Lightning coming up big. Lightning coming up big. We're tied at 7, early stages, maybe about 4 minutes into the second quarter. 12 and under Gilbert Lightning here at Mountain Ridge High School against the 12 and under Mt.Lions. 1st and 10 for the Lightning from their own 30-yard line. Rue is the quarterback. Under center, they pitch it. They try a reverse, which they do. Fools a couple of guys, and they hand it off to Dane Gaita. So Dane took it around the right side, and he picked up about 6. A pickup of 6 brings up 2nd down and 4 for Gilbert from their own 36-yard line. Again, we're tied at 7. About 4 minutes into this second quarter, 2nd down and 4. Gilbert from their own 36. Rue goes under center. And a handoff in the backfield, and nothing doing is Tristan Profit was there to make the big hit. Sebastian Oden getting the carry. They've been alternating between Oden and Fiumara. A loss of 2 on the play, 3rd down and 7 for the Lightning from their own 33-yard line. Temperatures expecting to get around 83 later on. Third down and 7, Rue out of the shotgun. Being pressured, runs for his life to the near side, and finally roped up here. Hitting him first was Colton Garnett. So some big-time defense from Mountain Ridge. We're tied at 7 here midway through the second quarter. And that a big loss on the play of 7. It is 4th down and 14 for the Lightning, now back at their own 36-yard line. Fiumara, number 3, is in the backfield, but right behind the quarterback. Well, it's going to be punting formation. And it's a good punt by Amaya. And it bounces, and it is down by Dane. It was a good punt. It did not take a good roll for the Lightning, but it was a good punt. They got that away, and it was a punt of 18 yards. Punting is not one of the big things that they do at this level. Generally, it's because, getting a long snapper is a difficult thing. We're tied at 7 here, about 4 minutes remaining in the first half. 1st down and 10 for Mountain Ridge at the 48-yard line of Gilbert. Dalk out of the shotgun. Looks to throw. Being pressure, rolls to his left. Going to take off, and depending on where they mark him out on the far side, close to the first down marker. In fact, they'll mark him out at the 40. Picked up 8. So Reggie Dalk. A nice run around the left side. And it'll leave Mountain Ridge with just 2 yards to go for the first down. Robert Dalk assisted by Justin Wilcox, Jeff Bubb, Trent Thompson, Trace Yonner, Brandon Bubb, and Ethan Olivas. Now, thanks to Angela Rosenloff for the rosters. Really very good job on those. Very, very helpful. Second down and 2 for Mountain Ridge at the 40-yard line of the Lightning. Tied at 7 here. Right around 3 or 4 minutes remaining in the half. Dolk goes out of the shotgun. Second down and 2. Man comes in motion towards the near side. It's Bucksar getting to the outside. He's got all sorts of running room, and he's going to run untouched down the near sideline for 40 yards. Caleb Bucksar is certainly a man playing among boys out here. Wearing number 30, raced around that right side and untouched for a 40-yard touchdown run. It is now 13-7 in favor of Mountain Ridge. Azyfl will try the extra point. Snap is down. That kick is up. It is good for 2 points. It is now 15-7 in favor of Mountain Ridge. Bucksar has scored both touchdowns for Mountain Ridge. A 19-yard run and then an end around for 40 yards. He is a guy to remember, Caleb Bucksar. So Mountain Ridge back in the lead. 15-7 with guessing maybe about 3 or 4 minutes remaining in the half, maybe not even that. Oden, the return man, 23, as well as here on the near side is Fiumara. Ball on the tee for Azyfl for Mountain Ridge. Mountain Ridge with a 15-7 lead here just before halftime. Acyro's kick is a good one to the far side. It goes over the head and out of bounds past Oden. It'll be a penalty brought out to the 35-yard line. Smart play by Sebastian Oden to let that ball go out of bounds. So after the ball being kicked out of bounds, be first down and 10 for the Gilbert Lightning from their own 35-yard line. They trail at 15-7 just before halftime. Mountain Ridge will get the ball to start the second half. They kicked off, but Gilbert fumbled the opening kickoff, and it was recovered by Mountain Ridge. First and 10, Lightning from their own 35. We've got a whistle. It appears they're looking down, something may have, they're bringing in one of the security. Nothing happened that was bad. I don't know what they're looking at. The guy in the very bright green was man that led us in it down on the far side, one of the people at work here. Not sure what this issue is. Our score is 15-7 Mountain Ridge here just before halftime. A pair of touchdowns by Bucksar. 19 and 40 yards. They're discussing things on that far sideline. I'm not really sure what. But one of the security people, or I don't know if you'd call it security, but he's the guy that let us get in the gate over here. Not sure what that's about. Well, nevertheless, It's first down and 10 for Gilbert from their own 35-yard line. Fiamara to the right and Oden to the left in the backfield. Handoff to Fiamara going left, and he is thrown down to the turf. A massive hit by Barrett Birchfield. Came up from the linebacker position, but not until Fiamara picked up 3 yards. They're still looking at something that I'm not sure is the security guy or guy that he let us in the gate down below. Very nice guy, but there's something that they're talking about, something with, I don't know what it is. Pickup of 3 for the Lightning. Second down and 7, Lightning from their own 38-yard line. Rue goes under center, he hands off, and the ball is fumbled. Recovered by Ryder Kane as they hand it off to Sebastian Oden, and he never got the handle on it. So Kane recovered the fumble, and the second fumble of the afternoon by the Gilbert Lightning. So moments before halftime here at Mountain Ridge, leading 15-7 with an opportunity to add to that as they have it first and 10 at the 39-yard line of Gilbert. Alex Acero, the running back, who lines up to the right in the backfield of Dahlk, who goes out of the shotgun. Handoff to Acero going left. Bursts into the secondary. It's a foot race. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown, but penalty marker comes in, and we may have a block in the back. It would go for 39 yards should it count, but probably an unnecessary block in the back. I don't think they needed the block. He was on his way. A couple of the members of the Lightning were laid out down there around the 12-yard line. So the touchdown will not count. It'll be marked off from the spot of the foul. It's a gain of 17 yards, no touchdown, first and 10. Mountain Ridge at the 22-yard line of the Lightning. Mountain Ridge leading 15-7 moments just before halftime. Dahlk out of the shotgun. Bucksar in motion. They fake it to him. They hand off to Acero going left, slicing and dicing over the left side, and finally taken down around the 15-yard line by Zayden Moreno. Mountain Ridge has got some very tough running backs. Barrett Birchfield checks in, 52. Caleb Bucksar in the backfield, who already has 2 touchdowns today. That was a gain of 7. Second down and 3. Handoff to Bucksar, breaking a couple of tackles inside. Finally, it took a whole lot of players to take him down around the 10-yard line. Not much time here before halftime. I believe a timeout is called by Mountain Ridge. It is 15-7 Mountain Ridge. A pair of touchdowns by Bucksar, 19 and 40 yards. So Mountain Ridge trying to add to this lead here right before halftime. They will get the ball to start the second half as they kicked off to start the ball game, and in fact recovered an opening kickoff fumble from the Gilbert Lightning. Bucksar will be the running back. He already has 2 touchdowns this afternoon. Dolk, the quarterback. First down and goal for Mountain Ridge. At the 10-yard line of the Lightning. Handoff to Bucksar over the left side. He stood up and spun down after a 6-yard gain down to the 4-yard line. Moreno came away with it for Gilbert, but I don't believe that's going to count as far as a fumble. A lot of noise out in the crowd. You never know if it signifies the end of the half, but that's not what it is. It's just fans being happy. What? The ball rests at the 4-yard line of the Gilbert Lightning. Well, they are going to say that that was a fumble. There was no real clear-cut call that we could see, but Moreno came away with that ball for Gilbert, so Bucksar did indeed fumble that ball. 1st and 10 Gilbert coming out of their own end zone. They lofted deep into traffic on the far side, and a tremendous catch. Coming up on the far side making that catch was Michael Fiumara. The ball will be spotted at the 28-yard line. Unofficially a 25-yard gain. Some of these guys that don't have a ton of size, really, they go up and make some great plays. Timeout is called for Gilbert. So that was a costly fumble. There wasn't any clear-cut call, I didn't think. I know Moreno came up with it, but it wasn't like they were shouting for joy. But that was indeed the call. Moments before halftime here. And Mountain Ridge leading 15-7. Pair of touchdowns from Bucksar, 19 and 40 yards for Mountain Ridge. Again, Mountain Ridge will get the ball to start the second half. 1st down and 10, Gilbert from their own 28-yard line. Rue out of the shotgun. Pump fakes, goes deep down the left side, and that was into double coverage on the far side around midfield. It was intended, well, I thought it was Kobe Landis that went up for that, and Lucas Rue throws a nice ball for the Gilbert Lightning. Moments before halftime here, and it's 15-7 Mountain Ridge. Mountain Ridge were knocking on the door, but costly fumble by Caleb Bucksar deep in the territory. Turned it around, 2nd down and 10. Gilbert from their own 28-yard line. Rue gets it, quick toss to Fiumara over here on the near side. A penalty marker comes in. Guess who makes that tackle? It was Bucksar again. But there's also the vicinity of holding on the play. Dane Gaeta was called for holding. It was declined, setting up 3rd down and 14 for Gilbert from their own 24. Can't imagine there's much time left in this half. 3rd and 14. Rue has pressure, fires deep down the near side into double coverage, and it's intercepted by Mountain Ridge. Unable to see that screen. It was picked off by Gabe Olivas. So Olivas picked that ball off right behind the tent down below, which in a sense that's as good as a punt. When you're trying to unload it down the field. Closing moments of this first half, it is 15-7 Mountain Ridge in a game that could go either way. Mountain Ridge with a much bigger roster, at least visually and looking at it, and Gilbert really hanging tough. Maybe not quite as big size-wise or deep of a roster, but they're hanging tough. 1st and 10, Mountain Ridge at midfield. They get the ball to start the second half. Dahlk out of the shotgun. Bobbled it for a second. He went down on his knee. Having to get it, it'll be a loss of 4. Timeout is called by Mountain Ridge. So the timeout called by Mountain Ridge. It'll be 2nd and 14. Mountain Ridge of the 46-yard, their own 46. So 2nd and 14 for Mountain Ridge from their own 46. Closing moments of this first half, Mountain Ridge leading 15-7. Dahlk gets a snap, will look to throw, has pressure, steps up. Down he goes, and it's going to be a sack on the play that time by Dylan Francis. So Mountain Ridge going backwards. Timeout is called again by Mountain Ridge. They've lost 10 yards on 2 consecutive plays, bringing up 3rd down and 20. There will be a game after this, but it will not be streamed by APN. This is our 3rd ball game of the day. Game 1, 37-0, a 10 and under game. Team Impact winning that 37-0 over the Raiders AZ. And 11 o'clock game, 34-0. The Mt.Lions 8th grade team beat the 8th grade West Valley Bolts. Again, Mountain Ridge will get the ball to start the second half, so how daring do you want to be back here? 3rd down and 20, Mt.Lions from their own 40. Dahlk out of the shotgun. He steps up, being chased, throws on the run, and a little bit shy over on the far side. It's intended for Bucksar, who's all over the place. He scored 2 touchdowns today, 19 and 40 yards. So 4th down and 20. Mentioned we've not had any operating scoreboards, so do not know exactly how much time is left in the half, but there can't be much at all. 4th and 20, Mountain Ridge from their own 20-yard line. Bucksar comes in motion. They hand off to him on the end around. Breaks some tackles into the secondary. Has the first down and more. Cuts back and finally dragged down from behind around the 20-yard line by Sebastian Oden. A penalty marker comes in maybe for a horse collar tackle. So Bucksar on the play picked up about 40 yards. Depends on where they spot it. It was a horse collar tackle. That was 4th down and 20, so a huge play for Mountain Ridge. Not only the 40-yard carry, but it's ends up halfway to the goal. It's a net of 50 yards on that 4th down and 20. Has it expired? Oh. So the time has been expired, but you can't end it on the defensive penalty. Dahlk has it. He's going to try to take a shot to the end zone. It comes up a little bit short. It was intended for Birchfield. And Mountain Ridge goes to halftime a little bit disappointed. They had the opportunity to score there right at the end. We're going to take a break here for 10 minutes. Mountain Ridge leading 15-7 as we head to halftime. And welcome back, everybody. Eric Anderson along with Jeff Lowry. It is 15-7 Mountain Ridge. Start the third quarter, and Amaya will kick off for Gilbert, and he hit it on his instep, and it rolls out of bounds on the far side. And a wise play on the far side by Olivas to let that go out of bounds. They should get the ball exactly where that went out. You know, the interesting thing is some of these kids are smarter than the ones in the NFL. If you've seen NFL players botch special teams plays, you know, where they don't let a ball go out. I know it can be tricky down around the goal line, but these kids have made some very smart plays, like letting that ball go out of bounds. And now Mountain Ridge has it 1st and 10 from their own 42. Pair of touchdowns by Bucksar, 19 and 40 yards by Mountain Ridge. They lead it 15-7. Gilbert's score, we believe it was Rue, the quarterback, that scored, but we didn't see an actual signal on it. 1st down and 10, quick toss to the near side. Bucksar has a couple of blockers, stays on his feet, takes the defender all the way down to the 42-yard line. A gain of 16 for Bucksar and taken down by Sebastian Oden. Bucksar is a guy to remember his name. Very, very good ball player. He's scored both touchdowns. He's had some spectacular plays on defense. So Mountain Ridge trying to go down and score on their first possession here in the second half. A penalty marker comes in. It's going to be against Gilbert. Illegal. They had 12 guys on the field. So 12 men on the field for the Lightning. It'll cost them 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 5. Mountain Ridge at the 37 of the Lightning. Reggie Dolk, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Acero gets the handoff with a ton of running room over the right side and breaks into the secondary, and it's a foot race. He's into the end zone for a touchdown, 37 yards. And just like that, Acero puts Mountain Ridge up 21-7. No penalty markers. So 21-7 Mountain Ridge. Acero got into the open, and nobody could catch him. He will try the extra point for a 2-point kick. This level, if you kick it, that's a little more difficult than the passing or running. That snap was down. The kick is up. Somehow it snuck through, and it's 23-7 in favor of Mountain Ridge. I don't think they used a tee on that. It's kind of strange. Obviously, you at the high school and lower levels, you can use a tee on kicking, place kicks, this and that. In high school, a lot of times you've got guys that are trying to impress college scouts by not using a tee, because you cannot use a tee in college kicking field goals. So if you want to show a scout that you're good enough for that next level, but here there's no reason to kick it off the ground. I think that was kicked off the ground, and Acero just got it up and good. So Mountain Ridge gets that opening kickoff and marches down 58 yards, culminating with a 37-yard touchdown run by Acero. He kicked the extra point. So early stages of the third quarter, it's 23-7 Mountain Ridge. Acero to kick off with a little bit of a breeze at his back. Oden here on the near side, and he will pick it up from the 28-yard line. Has some running room up close to midfield. And a 24-yard return by Sebastian Oden. So Gilbert Lightning going to have to come back and strike here to stay in competitive range with Mountain Ridge. Mountain Ridge has had a couple of opportunities to score a couple of other touchdowns, and they were not able to get them. There was a fumble down low, down close to the goal line, and then right before halftime, they were knocking on the door and couldn't get it in time. So first down and 10 for the Lightning at the 48-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Man goes in motion towards the far side. The handoff to Fuimara, and he's gobbled up after about a 3-yard gain led by Ryan Bubb. Fuimara getting the carry around the left side. Smash Mouth football. So Michael Fuimara picked up 3 and paid a little bit of a price, getting hit hard. So Gilbert looking to respond after Mountain Ridge scoring on that opening drive of the second half. Mountain Ridge leading 23-7, about 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Second down and 7, and going to be offside against Mountain Ridge. Unexcused error, what do they call that? So free 5 yards for the Gilbert Lightning. It'll be second down and 2 for the Lightning at the Mountain Ridge 40-yard line. Unforced error, that's what it would be. Oden, the running back, on the left. On the right in the backfield, Fuimara, and under center Rue. They hand off to Oden straight ahead, and he breaks into the secondary and actually grabbed, but not until he got a first down by Colton Garnett. So a gain of 7 on the play and a first down for Oden, and a nice little start to this drive for Gilbert. It'll be first and 10, Gilbert at the Mountain Ridge 33-yard line. Mountain Ridge with a 23-7 lead. Here about 6 minutes remaining, I'm guessing, in the third quarter. Rue is the quarterback. He will go under center. To the left in the backfield is Oden. To the right is Michael Fuimara. Rue on the run going right. He's going to call his own number, and he's sandwiched here near the near sideline. Getting part of that was Tatum Yanner. So Rue picking up about 5 on that inside the 30 to the 28-yard line of Mountain Ridge. So Gilbert with a nice little drive starting here. They're going to try to match Mountain Ridge after Mountain Ridge came out and scored on the first possession here in the second half. 3.5 minutes remaining. Well, that's going by pretty quick, so just 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 23-7 Mountain Ridge, second down and 5, Lightning at the 28 of Mountain Ridge. The handoff to Fuimara around the left side. He tries to get to the outside, but initial hit was made by Ryan Bubb. Fuimara getting up a little bit slow. Tatum Yanner also in the vicinity. Penalty marker at the 23-yard line, holding on the offense. They're going to move it from the spot of the foul. That is a costly penalty. So 2nd down and 13 now for Gilbert at the 36-yard line of Mountain Ridge. It's penalties like that can kind of kill a drive sometimes. Hopefully that won't happen for Gilbert here. They trail at 23-7 here. Around 2.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Rue goes out of the shotgun. 3 receivers near side. Oden's the running back. Here comes the blitz. Rue gets away. He's in trouble and eventually couldn't get away the entire way. It was Brayton Williams who eventually got him down. They brought the blitz around the right side. I believe it was Wyatt Gunderson. And they move back just a little bit more. 3rd down and 17 for the Gilbert Lightning at the 40-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Caleb Buxar checks in, the very tough linebacker for Mountain Ridge. They may bring him on a blitz. 3rd and 17 for Gilbert Lightning at the 40 of Mountain Ridge. Rue out of the shotgun, throws it deep down the left side into double coverage. That ball is complete and caught for a touchdown. Fiumara went up and made that catch. Goes for 40 yards. How about that? It is now 23-13. As Gilbert with that 40-yard catch by Fiumara. Just going up and making a play. And Gilbert tried to kick it the last time with Amaya, but generally the issue becomes the snap a lot of times. They did get it. They ran it in for a 1-point conversion. They will go for 1 here. 1-point conversion try. Rue goes under center. Movement all over the line. That's going to go against Gilbert, and that's a costly one. It'll be an 8-yard conversion attempt now for Gilbert. What's that? I thought you said it was 3. A 1-point conversion try for Gilbert. They hand off to Fiumara around the left side. He's not going to go anywhere. Buxar, one of the man there to knock him down. As well as Daniel Serrano, 74. Yeah, that's for the penalty. It'll cost you. So the 1-point conversion, no good for Gilbert. It is 23-13 Gilbert, trailing by 10. Stated a better way, Mountain Ridge leading by 10, 23-13. But Mountain Ridge has kind of let Gilbert hang around a little bit. But Gilbert's going to need to make a stop here. 23-13 Mountain Ridge. Again, no clock scoreboard operating, so we're trying to guess at the time here in the 3rd quarter. Amaya's kickoff is a squib kick, and that was grabbed before it even went 10 yards, so let's see what that's called. It was grabbed by Oden. They should just spot the ball there at the 48, I would think. It didn't go 10 yards. So talking about good field position for Mountain Ridge. Mountain Ridge will have it first down and 10 at the 48-yard line of Gilbert. So a costly onside kick attempt that only went 8 yards. It didn't have the onside kick bounce to it. It was kind of a spiral going to its left. So Mountain Ridge with a short field, first down and 10 at the 48-yard line of Gilbert. Dalk out of the shotgun. They hand off inside, and Cerro goes straight ahead. Moreno with the tackle. Got a whistle and an injured Lightning ball player. It was a gain. Well, I don't think there was anything that was gained on that play. So you want to take a quick break? We'll take a break in the action while the injured Gilbert Lightning ball player is attended to. It is 23-13. So after the injured player goes off for the Gilbert Lightning, it was Dagan Racine. Second down and 10. Handoff, Bucksar tries to bounce on the outside. Slipping tackle, stays on his feet down the near sideline and appeared to step out of bounds, and then he's triple team. Moreno leading the charge down around the 20-yard line. A gain of 28 around the left side for Bucksar, who's a dynamic running back and defensive player. Now, where are they going to spot that ball? Looks like it's spotted at the 20. We're guessing 2 to 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 23-13 in favor of Mountain Ridge. And they have it first down and 10 at the 20-yard line of Gilbert. Dalk out of the shotgun, 4 receivers. Bucksar goes in motion. They hand off to him on the end of the round. Goes right, tries to get to the outside, has the first down and more, and dodges his way down into the end zone for a touchdown. 20 yards for Bucksar, his third touchdown run of the afternoon. It's now 29-13 Mountain Ridge. So Caleb Bucksar with his third touchdown run of the afternoon, that an end around. And Cerro, I know that they are not using a tee to try the extra point. That's difficult for somebody that's 12 and under, or even a high school player. The last one he got just over the upright. That kick is blocked. So that was kicked into the line and blocked by Lopez, but at a minimum you want to use a tee on the extra points to get some height, at this level or the high school level. Very difficult to kick it off the ground at this level. 29-13 favor of Mountain Ridge. Roughly 2 to 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. So 3 touchdown runs by Caleb Buxar. He's been terrific on both sides of the ball, and running back, wide receiver, linebacker. Oden back deep on the near side. Fiumara on the far side for the Lightning to await the kick of Acero. That is a good kick, and it's over the head of everybody. Oden picks it up at the 8-yard line. And Oden is hammered at the 18-yard line. And putting the hammer down was Barrett Birchfield. And he's even down here on the near side out of bounds. And then Oden was crushed inside the 20. Ooh. Let's take a timeout, Jeff. And that was a menacing hit on both sides. So about 2 to 3 minutes remaining. And welcome back, everybody. Eric Anderson along with Jeff Lowry. We move to the fourth quarter, 29-13 in favor of Mountain Ridge. And after that menacing collision on the kickoff, both players got up. Sebastian Oden got up for the Lightning and moved off to the far side. And then Barrett Birchfield, who made the hit, was on this side. And he eventually got up, but it was a real collision. And Gilbert will get the ball first down and 10 back at their own 18-yard line. They trail it 29-13 as we start the fourth quarter. You thought it was a bit of targeting on that, Jeff. I guess it was. Well, I mean, it was just a very vicious hit. Violent. Well, fortunately, both players are okay. Gilbert first down and 10 from their own 18-yard line. They trail it 29-13, first play of the fourth quarter. High snap, and Rue hands off to Moreno. Goes straight ahead and picks up 3. The defense for Mountain Ridge is tough. Buxar with 3 touchdown runs for Mountain Ridge. 19, 40, and 20 yards. So for Gilbert to come back, they would need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, meaning that's when you kick the ball. After the gain of 2, Gilbert second down and 8 from their own 20-yard line. Rue goes under center. Oden and Fiumara in the backfield. Handoff to Fiumara over the left side, has a hole, breaks into the secondary, and finally taken out the 34-yard line. Gain of 14 and a big hole over the left side by That offensive line giving Michael Fiumara a nice hole for Gilbert. Early stages of the fourth quarter, it is 29-13 Mountain Ridge. So Gilbert facing a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Rue will go out of the shotgun with 2 receivers. He will look to throw. They swing it out to the right side. Fiumara has blockers, and he's up close to the first down marker on the far side. Ryder Doran making the stop on the far side, but Fiumara, a slippery guy out of the backfield, and he picked up 10 on that. So Gilbert needing to go down and getting a touchdown here to stay in this ball game. They trail at 29-13 here in the early part of the fourth quarter. 4 10-minute quarters. 1st and 10, Gilbert from their own 44-yard line. And comes in motion towards the near side. Play action. Toss over the middle. That is intercepted by Birchfield. He's up the left side, and that's going to do some big-time damage to Gilbert. So Birchfield intercepting that pass over the middle. He had that big hit just a moment ago. And that's going to be a big blow to the Gilbert chances of coming back in this one. The return was unofficially 14 yards. So now Mountain Ridge can go ahead, and you might start looking at the clock a little bit. As well, there's no clock to look at, actually, but 1st down and 10. Play fake, they hand off. Dalk on the quarterback bootleg down the left side. It's a foot race all the way to the end zone. No penalty markers. He's in for the touchdown, 41 yards. Quarterback Reggie Dalk with a quarterback bootleg around the left side for 41 yards. And just like that, after the interception, Mountain Ridge takes big-time advantage of that and now leads 35-13. Cerro will try the extra point with Bub to hold. Again, I mentioned they're not using a tee, which is a difficult thing to do, kicking off the ground if you're 12 years old. You're legally allowed to use a tee on extra points and place kicks. Well, he got that one up in the air, and it's good. Counts for 2 points here. 37-13 in favor of Mountain Ridge after the 41-yard touchdown run by Dalk. The interception by Birchfield and the 41-yard touchdown run by Dalk on the quarterback keeper around the left side maybe put the nail in the coffin in Gilbert. They had some slim hopes still alive, and the interception by Birchfield and then the 41-yard run by Dalk probably, well, I have to say here, probably about three or 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. It is 37-13 Mountain Ridge. Cerro, who just made the extra point, will kick off for Mountain Ridge. Fiumara on the near side, Oden on the far side to return this kick. This is a pooch kick into the wind here on the near side. It's fielded, not a fair catch, but grabbed right away by Dane Gaita. Gaita, the 35-yard line. So there is a little bit of a breeze blowing from right to left. So Gilbert really, after the interception and then the 41-yard run by Dolk, really have had their hopes totally squashed of possibly coming back in this one. So Lucas Rue and Gilbert will go to work first down and 10 from their own 35-yard line, now trailing by 24 points. 37-13. Guessing about 6 minutes remaining essentially in the game. Rue will go under center. Fiumara, the running back, to his left is Oden. Rue going to take it himself. Slips a couple of tackles, bounces to the outside, has the first down and more. Out on the far side, stays on his feet. Finally ridden out of bounds. They're going to mark him out around the 29-yard line. 36-yard run on the quarterback keeper by Rue. He's a good ball player, a guy to keep your eye on. But it may be a little bit too late, down by 24 here in the fourth quarter. I don't believe that I've actually been to Mountain Ridge High School here, that it is set amongst the mountains out here. Some trails off there. Sure, the rattlesnakes coming out this time of the year. It's getting warm out. Gilbert first down and 10 at the 29-yard line of Mountain Ridge. And that was a strange play right there. I don't know what was going on, but it was recovered by Mountain Ridge, and it was Parker Rosenloff. I'm not even positive who was under center on that. It was not Rue, I do not believe. Nevertheless, the play didn't get off the ground, and it was fumbled. It says C. So after the fumble recovery, Mountain Ridge takes over, and they can just keep this ball on the ground. I'm not really sure what Gilbert was running on that last play. First down and 10, Mountain Ridge from their own 30-yard line. Quick toss here to the near side. It is complete to Birchfield, who fights his way for a first down and more up over the 40-yard line to the 42. Moreno and Francis in on the stop. Birchfield has had a good ball game, too. Barrett Birchfield. Well, that's coming back. Going to be holding against Mountain Ridge. They lead at 37-13. Guessing maybe 5 or 6 minutes remaining in the ball game. So the first down by Birchfield is negated on the holding penalty. First down and 16 for Mountain Ridge back at their own 24-yard line. Dolk out of the shotgun. Hands off to Acero, and he's hit in the backfield. So a big hit on defense coming up was Leonardo Lopez on that line. Moreno has had a good ball game too, caught a couple of nice passes. Loss of a couple on the play at 2nd down and 20, Mountain Ridge back at their own 19-yard line. They can just kind of run the clock down. Dalk out of the shotgun. A play fake, and Dalk is sacked. Again, it was Leonardo Lopez coming in from the right defensive end position, and he drilled Dalk before he could bat an eye. So they keep moving the ball back, but the clock continues to tick here in the fourth quarter. 24-point lead for Mountain Ridge, 37-13. They're facing a 3rd down and 26, meaning Mountain Ridge back at their own 14-yard line. Closing in on 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. Dalk out of the shotgun. Man comes in motion. They hand off to Acero inside, and he's ridden down from behind. Moreno again with a nice tackle inside. Check that. Amaya was in on that stop. Both of them have got very long hair on the back, so it was Amaya that came up from behind. And punting situation on 4th down and a mile for Mountain Ridge back. Oh, they were going to try to punt it away, and this isn't going anywhere as Olivas not able to get it off, but that's better than getting one blocked. At this stage of the game, you're just trying to kind of run the clock down and make sure that nobody gets hurt. It is a 24-point lead for Mountain Ridge. They lead it 37-13, under 4 minutes remaining in this one. So anything that Gilbert gets at this stage is just kind of the last second scoring. Gilbert 1st down and 10 at the 12-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Moreno is the running back behind Rue, who goes out of the shotgun on 1st down and 10. High snap, the handoff to Moreno inside, and he's hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. A couple of the big disruptors that got in there were Buxar and Yanner. Moreno just barely got his hands on the ball before he was driven back for a 3-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 13 for Gilbert at the 15-yard line of Mountain Ridge.
Come on, Rick.
It is a 24-point Mountain Ridge lead, 37-13. Under 3 minutes to go at least. They hand off to Oden going left. Again, he's hit and drop. Combining on that stop was Buxar and Bub. So that continues to run the clock with all the running plays.
Come on, hold the line.
Oden got a couple of yards back. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for Gilbert at the 11-yard line of Mountain Ridge. Lucas Rue brings the play in from the sideline, the quarterback. It was pretty evenly matched early on, tied at 7. Then Mountain Ridge led 15-7 at halftime, but in the third and fourth quarter is when Mountain Ridge really took off. 3rd and 9, Gilbert at the 11 of Mountain Ridge. Rue out of the shotgun to his right in the backfield is Oden. Toss towards the end zone. Complete, but it's going to be shy of the first down to Kyle Curley. So 4th down and inches here for Gilbert at the 3-yard line. Marino to the right and Oden to the left. Rue takes it himself. Try to get the push. He did get the first down. He got the first but didn't get into the end zone. Any points now that that Gilbert scores are just, I hate to use the word mop up, or something that's a little after the fact that doesn't counts for the kids, but it's way after the fact because 24-point Mountain Ridge lead, 37-13.
Yeah, but I think the coaches want these guys playing 4 full quarters.
That's a very good point. First down and goal for Gilbert at the 1-yard line. Oh, boy. Oden ran into Rue, and that is the end of the ball game. So Mountain Ridge beats Gilbert by a score of 37-13. I'm Eric Anderson for Jeff Lowry.